Okay, it's time for another renovating the house thing. So a few weeks ago, Lowe's had a sale on some flooring. Now we've been wanting to get rid of the nasty carpet and everything in here for a while. This was a deal that we couldn't pass up. So we were able to get flooring to do our entire downstairs for 50 cents a square foot. We are not experts. I've done this maybe once or twice before. Shao has never done this.
We'll get started now.
Let's rip up some carpet. Actually, I'm going to take the camera and show you how wonderfully gross this stuff is that's in here. So this is our floor here. There are these spots everywhere. Over here next to the door, this was the danger zone for a while when we moved in. There were for sure like nail pins and stuff like that. If you can see that spot right there, that's where I hammered a nail down into the ground because there were so many of them. There's several spots over here. Actually, one of our friend's daughters found the last one with her knee over here when we were having people over. That was a blast. Gouged your knee up pretty good. But so we'll probably be finding all those, taking all those staples, nails, and things like that out. Our bedroom is gonna get done in the same flooring. And also if we come back this way, we're gonna take out all of this hallway. And also we're gonna take out all of this wood here that also goes into my office. We can put our couch in here for the time being. So we'll be ripping out all of this as well. So we have one continuous floor going through. But we're gonna start with the living room so we can have a nice long lines heading through this way and get all of this moving back that way. So we'll start in that corner so we have a good, nice, flat corner to go along with.
Totally gross carpet.
Carpet is cut out. Next step.
What, 5 minutes?
Yeah, that barely took.
5 to 10 minutes, that's all that took.
So now we get all the padding up, and padding goes the same way. And this is actually, a lot of it's in these weird sections anyway, so we probably can just pull up these sections, roll them up, and we'll put them in the same pile to go to the trash. And then comes the tedious part after that. You ready for that?
We'll spend hours pulling nails and staples out.
Remember how I was saying we have some nails next to this door that I had to hammer down? They're not nails. They're screws. Something is screwed in from underneath the floor. So we're gonna have to figure out what to do with those, what it is that's screwed in from underneath, and probably gonna have to hammer these as flat as possible, and then lay the underlayment over top of that and hope it doesn't poke through, and we'll be fine. I'll probably just have to get a hammer on those really well and see what's up. We're probably gonna get the rest of this carpet pad up, throw it in the truck, and go ahead and make a run to the dump and dump all this stuff. So we got a load of carpet and pad that's gonna run to the dump right now, and we're gonna do that, grab some lunch, and make a run to Lowe's so that we can get some gloves and some things like that. And we'll also probably grab the carpet pad while we're there too. So, guys ready?
Underlayment.
What?
Underlayment.
Underlayment, not carpet pad.
taking the carpet and the padding out didn't take very long at all. But we've spent the last few hours pulling up staples one by one and taking off the sideboard. I don't know what those are called. Tack strips that the carpet was going to. That was a lot of work. Maybe I'll have some more muscles after doing that. So we've got all that up, we've swept, we've vacuumed, and
we've not vacuumed yet, or vacuumed out of batteries. We've
halfway vacuumed.
Yeah, we've vacuumed a little bit. Once the vacuum charges some, we should be able to vacuum all of this up, and then we will, actually I'll probably grab the screwdriver here, my drill and stuff, and go ahead and find some squeaky spots and be able to get rid of the squeaks and screw those down better. So I'll probably go ahead and do that, but then once we get this whole place vacuumed, we'll be able to lay pad. We may lay some of that tonight, but that'll be where we stop if we do, I think. Right?
We're pretty tired. We'll see.
We'll see how this goes here in a little bit.
Forgot to record this part, but I put down the underlayment here for the living room. Measured it out, taped it together, and now we're ready to install the laminate.
And we went with a higher quality underlayment. So this does have moisture barrier and all that stuff on it too, but we decided since the wood that we got is a little thinner, that we went with a higher quality underlayment to compensate, and we think it'll make things a little nicer in here.
And since we got such a good deal on the laminate, this underlayment cost us more than the actual floors we're putting on top of it.
So we've gotten a start here. We've got first several rows. We used some of the boards as spacers along the wall to get our start. And that worked really well to give us a little space off. We'll end up putting quarter round down around all of the edges once we get there. But I think it's looking pretty good so far. We had to go back and adjust a few little spots to make sure everything was tight. And we've got these other packs down here to weight down our start so that now we have something solid to work off of the rest of the way. So we learned a little tip from one of the YouTube videos that we were watching. When you get to these ends that you need to cut to make your cut here, you take this is the edge that's going to be out to do the rest of it. Oh, a little dent there. That's okay, it gives a character to the couch here anyway. You take it, you spin it the opposite direction, and then you make your mark where the finished wood is going to be, and that's your cut mark. So then this piece, or one of these, this piece here ends up snapping in. I got my cut line so for my flush line over here. So mark right here to the end. Then let's take it and cut it. All right, so just cut that piece. So now the piece that I cut off, so this is the piece that's gonna go and lock in where I needed it. This piece here can start our next row. All right, so we've hit our first awkward cut here. I need to figure out my angle and get my jigsaw going and all of that, but I'm apprehensive at best.
This is our trickiest cut yet. We'll see if it works.
I think I got it right. She's gonna pop it in place and see if I did or not. So I cut it a little too tight. Yeah. All right, try number 2. All right, let's see if this one goes in, and we'll make sure that gets a good cover with some quarter round. There we go. An interesting cut here. Didn't record it, but I got this first one done, and you can see the remnants of number 2, which didn't work out so well. So I'm about to do that again and try to get a long cut there that has about, I'd say 8 inches that comes off on the side over here. So most of that is one long cut that I'm going to have to do right there. So try number 2. So unfortunately I don't have a table saw, which would make this far easier to do, to make this long of a cut. But I went and bought a finished blade that I guess it's got more teeth on it than a normal blade, so it shouldn't do a whole lot of damage to the face of this. It should be pretty clean, but this is just going to be a long cut to make with that, which is why I had trouble with the first one that I tried of this length. But I just got to do what I got to do, so I'll clamp it down the table, make our cuts, and hope it goes well. See how this one fits. There we go. Got it. No celebration from anybody? So we took out the hardwoods up here, most of the way, all the way in the entryway. We'll get over to my office later. But all these little hardwoods have really long nails that go into the tongue of them. They are about impossible to pull up. So I've watched a few videos on trying to get these nails out of the ground, and there's no awesome way to do it. They're about 1.5 inches to 2 inches long. So instead of pulling them up, I'm going through with a hammer and hammering them all flush. That's still not easy, hands and knees hammering into the ground, but it's better than pulling them out, which was, my wife and the kids couldn't even get them out. And me getting them out, it was, even getting one was taking time. So the hammering method is what we're going with. Hopefully I'll be done with that in the not too distant, it's lunchtime already. I should probably feed my daughter, but hopefully I'll be done with that soon, and then we'll be able to lay the underlayment and finish the hallway and the entryway with the wood, and that will then lead us into clearing out all of this stuff out of my office, which will be fun. And then we'll be able to take the floor out in here, hammer all those nails down again, and then be able to do the wood in here. Another trip to Lowe's so we can get the quarter round. Lots of trip to Lowe's.
finally finished with the living room. Actually didn't take us too many days. We're overall very happy with the finished product. We did have some quirks though as we were getting into it. We did realize a couple days ago that this board from row number 3 had messed up, so we took apart the first 3 rows and re-put them in backwards, trying to get that one situated. Then today when we were putting in the quarter round, nailed the first piece in, and this whole section here just kind of slid under the wall, and we had massive gaps, and we freaked out a little bit trying to figure out what was going on. We had done the spacing around the edges like everyone recommends, having your little spacers, but turns out underneath the wall it goes back way farther than we thought. So we cut a whole lot of little slivers, shoved them under our wall to accommodate for that extra gap that we didn't realize was there. Put them back in, and I've now nailed the quarter round in, so hopefully we're good to go.
Now it's time to move the couch back in here, out of my office, and reset up this room so we can move on to the rest of stuff. I think so ends part 1 of this installation. We have run into our challenges and we have solved what we can solve, and now it's dark so we can't cut anything else because it's loud outside and we live in a townhome. But we feel like we've gotten pretty good. We've now finished up in the living room for the most part. I've got a little bit of quarter round to put in there and there. And then we've got to do our transition into the kitchen here, and some quarter round there and there, and this section is finished. We went ahead and moved our couch back in. Normally over there we'd have our bookshelf and chairs and stuff like that, but since we're going to work on my office next, we are going to go put my office stuff over there once we get there. I have rehearsal for church tomorrow night, and
I have a meeting for a transplant nursing committee, so we won't do any work tomorrow.
So no work tomorrow. And Friday we may get back to it for a little bit, but honestly I'd like to probably go out with my wife because we haven't done that in a while, so we'll figure something out soon.
And then work all day Saturday.
Yes. We'll see you guys in the next one.